Hello. So, it is time for week 2 of the, of UBL Season 2. And our opponent is Jameseey, coach of the London Luxrays. We actually had them featured on a little channel last week. We showed them using their weakness policy event all alongside the Confe, which is what they have, along with Mega Salamence, Katana, Nihilego, Luxray, Greninja, Luxray, Vanillux, Nidoqueen, Beheeyem, Blacephalon, and Lucario. So, they have a lot of power on their team. They also have some pretty good support options. I think last week they proved that Luxray is a very viable support option with Snarl, Baby Doll Eyes. Convey is great support. And they can turn both of, like, Yveltal and Salamence into Tailwinders, as well as Katana. All three of them can Tailwind. But they don't have the best Trick Room mode. They have Imprison Trick Room Beheeyem. And I believe that's it. Convey also gets Trick Room, but I don't believe it gets Imprison. So yeah. Their team is quite fast, though. We see it out of here. A lot of their Pokemon range in the 91 to 110 base speed kind of range, as well as 2 in the very fast tier of like 110 plus. So yeah, that's 70. Yeah, that's 12. So yeah, like you can see, they don't have a lot of slow Pokemon. They have a couple middling speed Pokemon. Lucario is base 90, so kind of like is on the upper end of that. But then like Nidoqueen's base 76 and Vanillux is base 79. But yeah. And then Luxray itself is base 70, but then you've got Beheeyem at base 40, so it's like the one thing that can really fight in Trick Room. So, what does that mean I have come up with for this week? Yveltal obviously was going to be a huge problem. Mega Salamence as well, but I think I've had enough ways to kind of make sure I could get into Mega Salamance's brain and, you know, nuke it. But Yveltal's kind of tanky, so I really did focus on the top 3 here a lot. I should have maybe considered a few more things like Nihilego, Greninja, but I'm also concerned about Nidoqueen. That's one of the other things I was concerned about, because obviously, as we kind of know, ground isn't something my team likes. Something I hope to rectify in the future, but for now, Nidoqueen is going to be a big threat, and just anything with Earthquake, realistically. Which really the only things that could bring Earthquake are going to be Lucario and Salamence. And they've got to be concerned of, you know, their own Lucario, Nihilego, like, Luxray, Nidoqueen. They've got a few ground weeks of their own. So, they've got a few things to worry about. As for exactly what I can expect, it's kind of hard to put down. I'm expecting Yveltal Convey. It's such a good combination. I pretty much can guarantee Nidoqueen. I would say highly likely on I'd say likely on Salamence, because it does potentially lose to Dialga. I can see Katana coming as well, because I have a good amount, like, they need fighting coverage this week, so that's why I was thinking Lucario, but Katana could just come to just Sacred Sword things. So that's why I was at least thinking one of the two. I would more so expect Katana because it's a little more versatile and kind of a beast. Katana's nothing to be trifled with. Though I didn't feature on the channel, the kill leader for week 1 in minor divisions is Politoed, and Politoed did it with Katana getting 5 KOs. So yeah. Katana's nothing to be trifled with. Once Katana gets rolling, it really gets rolling. So, it's a lot of trying to stop this from snowballing out of control while keeping the game in my control as well. So, as for what I've prepped, my team's weird. My team's very strange. And I think this is going to be a lot of the theming for this season. Where I'm bringing very strange things. Not because it's necessarily bad, or not necessarily because I'm just doing strange things to mix people up, but I'm doing what I think is actually pretty good. And it's also keeping people on their toes. There's no guarantee on what I'm bringing like any week. So prepping for exactly what I want to do is hard for people. And as a result, that's why I think my draft is strong, because my team is so flexible in how it can work. So, with that being said, let's start off with, honestly, weirdly enough, one of the more standard mons on the team. And that is Dialga. So we're Chopoberry this week because of both of Lucario and Kartana. And we also see we're Trick Room. We're not bringing Jellicent, but I think seeing Dialga and you obviously see we're bringing Conkeldurr as well is kind of an indication that we do kind of want to go for Trick Room. Trick Room is an option we have, but we also have other methods of speed control, which we'll see later. We want to Protect, just because like having Protect on here is nice, and then we've got Earth Power Ice Beam, as I felt that was the best coverage. I didn't feel like having Flash Cannon was really that great. Dragon didn't really matter. You don't really run Dragon on Dialga anyway, unless you really need like a random coverage move. Like granted, I ran Dragon last week. Maybe you do run Dragon, but usually you run Draco if you want Dragon. But I just felt like running Dragon last week. I could have easily run Flash Cannon. But yeah, so let's get up Calcs. So as we can see, I have my dog. Oh yes, so it's 0 speed, but it's modest. So I could get away with this because this, fun fact, under speeds, 0 speed, no invested Nidoqueen. Do I want that, or do I just want to be faster? I don't know if I want to be faster or slower than the Nidoqueen. That's the issue here. You know what? I'll just be faster than it. I'll just run to 31. Like, cause like I could be faster or I could be slower depending if I want 0 IVs or 31. I think I'd rather be faster because like Nidoqueen's more likely a Backmon, but if I'm going with Trick Room, that means like I'm bringing a certain 4 set of mons. And one of those will be Conk that should be able to answer the Nidoqueen just fine. So yeah. So yeah, we have Dialga, the Dialga Calcs. Yeah, so it takes an Adamant Life Orb Close Combat from Lucario and KOs it back with Earth Power. Same kind of deal with Kartana's Sacred Sword. We'll do a chunk. But then I'll KO it back. Providing it's not running much bulk. One thing I didn't really realize was a lot of people actually tend to run a lot of bulk on their Kartana. It was apparently pretty common in VGC. So, if that is the case, I kind of had the calc down here of even if it's a 0 attack investment Adamant Kartana is doing like max of 62%-ish. I didn't even drop the... No, it's the offense I dropped. We are also... originally this was going to be max. It was just going to be max HP, max special attack, and like nothing anywhere else. But then I had a look at it, and I saw that... Pull up a bit. I saw that it could actually survive a timid Nidoqueen Earth Power. So I did that. I made it so it could survive timid Nidoqueen Earth Power. And it has a pretty good... It does a pretty sizable chunk to it back. Provided no bulk. But obviously, I'm kind of expecting a modest offensive Nidoqueen. I don't see them running like a fast one. But if they do, then I think that will be a little better for me. So yeah. So that is the Dialga. Next up, Support Kang. This is actually wrong. It should not be Ring Protect. I've changed it to Return. Originally it was Ring Protect, but I've changed it to Return because I think the calc said it was like, even with this little attack investment, it's still got a pretty good chance of two-shotting Yveltal with Return. I've also just put it as regular Kang instead of Mega Kang, so things like last week don't happen. But obviously I've been doing my calcs with Mega Kang. So it's max speed, which will outspeed Yveltal, and speed ties Comfey. As I said last week, not in the last week, but in the video where I talked about Jameseey's team and talked about the Comfey, you need a faster fake out user to kind of stop it in its tracks. This is my fake out user, and it's speed ties with Comfey, because Comfey is base 100 speed, so they have to be running max speed Comfey and that has to win a speed tie for my fake out not to work. Which, in any case, like, I just fake out the partner, so it's not the end of the world. The thing is with this Kang is it's a lot more support oriented. So it has Icy Wind, which I'll double check if it's valid afterwards, but it should be. But yeah, having Icy Wind, even with like having like, you know, I'm jolly, it basically just it cuts the opponent's speed in half. It's like paralyzing them. Paralyzing both any opponent that hits. And Rock Slide, because I'm so fast, actually has a good chance of flinching a lot of Pokemon. It's got a 60% chance to flinch at any opponent it hits, which is crazy good. So it's a lot more support-oriented, and is really based around deciding if I want to go fast or slow. Whereas Dialga can set up Trick Room if it needs to, Kang also has the option to just slow things down if it needs to. As well as dealing some decent damage with return. Like, it's still got base 125 attack stat. So, like, even just with this little investment, it's doing pretty good. And the defensive investment, for those that are wondering, so we'll scroll down a little bit further. This lives Timid, Max Attack, Lucario, Close Combat. So, yeah. And then you can kind of see here the return calc if you can't. It's got a 66.4% chance to 2-hit KO, 4 HP, 4 defense Yveltal. Also takes a Katana Sacred Sword pretty nicely. So yeah. That's why what it is. There might have been something I was forgetting with the Lucario calc. Maybe it lives Adamant. I doubt it. But yeah, so we've got like a support Kang. And I suppose going from what was the support last week to now is the offense, because Kang was our offense last week, and Coco was our support, but now Kang is our support, and Coco is our offense. We are Z-move Coco this week, because this week I'm actually bringing a Z-move. What do you know? Volt Switch T-Ball, Dazzling Gleam, Protect. Coco's strong. It outspeeds their entire team, including Greninja. I originally wasn't even going to outspeed Greninja, but I ended up going for it. The rest was kind of put into HP and split into 4s, and then kind of made sure I had as much special attack as I felt like I needed. So if we scroll down a little bit, there's actually a few Coco calcs, because it's actually kind of insane, but also Coco lives. Not even... So, like, it 2-hit KOs max HP 4 special defense Mega Salamence in electric terrain with T-Bolt. And has a pretty good shot of taking it out with Gigavolt Havoc. It also lives a +2 Dark Pulse from Coco, which is the strongest move it can go for. Better than Specs, better than Life Orb, better than it's not going to matter for knockoff because it can't knock off the Electrium Z. So this is the most powerful thing it can go for in one shot, and it does not KO this Coco. That's how good it is. I knew I needed Coco for this week for Yveltal, because it's one of the best answers for Yveltal. Other than, like, Xerneas. It will destroy Yveltal. Even T-Ball has a good chance of just bopping... does a good chunk to Yveltal, like a bulky Yveltal. And even an AV max HP... Yveltal will will just drop to a Gigavolt Havoc. So yeah, people have used Z-Move Coco in the past. In VGC 2019, people have used both Varium Z and Electrium Z. But mainly Electrium Z due to its massive power, because you get that electric surge boost coming off a T-Ball and pretty decent special attack. Like, it's not the best, like 95 is not the best or anything, but like with how much damage you can really get off, it really hurts. And you can still pivot out, do good chunks with Volt Switch. And D-Gleam is just kind of a nice solid move to just kind of click if I don't know what to do. So yeah. I was considering running HPIs, but honestly, like, T-Bolt was doing like 10% less than HPIs. So I was like, I'm just gonna go T-Bolt, and that's what made me want to go Electrium Z. Next up, Nidoking. Nidoking's pretty good here. The coverage of ground, ice, and poison is pretty good. Poison I was really considering dropping, but like it's too good not to pass up, personally. Like, it's... Because otherwise I really don't do a lot to Confe. I don't even think I have a Confe calc down, because originally I... Let me have a look. Calc's live. So this is actually another calc site, Airstream actually recommended. I've been using Picolix before, but I actually didn't realize they had a damage calc. Which is nice, because multi-scale actually works on here. On the other hand, they don't have Z moves or, they don't have Z moves or, what's it called? Or Megas, so it has its ups and downs. So let me look at Comfey. So yeah, we can see Sludge Bomb, like, does a ton, because we are max special attack timid, so Sludge Bomb, like, will bop it. And otherwise, like, Earth Power is doing, like, 57.5 against a max HP Confe, which, granted, I can expect it more to be special defensive investment, and if it is, then yeah, obviously it's not guaranteed KOing it, but, like, it's really the best I can do, because I need to make sure I outspeed Nido Queen. I could outspeed, what's it called? Vanillix, but it's a Vanillix. I'm not expecting it. Like, the best it will do is, like, break my multi-scale, which could happen. It could come just to do that, but, like, that seems so niche. I'm not really counting Vanillix in this match to come. So I just went to outspeed Nido Queen. And then the bulk. The bulk's actually pretty decent. It's so small, you may not, like, think it matters for a lot. So yeah, here we can see that the Nido Queen calc, where it's like it bops the opposing Nido Queens if they're bulky. We bop any Salamence under the sun. No Salamence can live this. We'll take out most Kartana unless they're very specially bulky. We will chunk bulky of at all. But the main one here is this. Jolly max attack knockoff will not KO this Nido King from Yvel, which is pretty nice. I think I remembered saying this in my team builder, but I said I can make Nido King bulky enough if I need to, and this is the sort of thing I was talking about. It's not got the best bulk in the world, but it's certainly something I can mess around with, and it's because of the increased speed and power, I can kind of take those out of where I need to and put those into defense. That's why this team is so versatile, and I love it. So yeah, I tried to have a Confe calc. Cool. So yay. And then also, Luxray. It will take out a lot of Luxray. This being the one I looked at was max HP Force with F. But it very well, again, it could be specially invested. As you can kind of see, there's a lot of special offense this week. Dialga, Coco, Nido King. They're like kind of three my main special offense in fast mode. Whereas as you kind of see, Conk is my physical offense, but we're going to talk about Conk in a little bit. For now, let's move on to Lugia. We're going dual screens again, because I've kind of been trying to think about it, and unfortunately Lugia is kind of linear, and that's why it's not really used, because like, really, like, dual screens is like the best thing it can do. Like, unless I've come up with some actual really nice tech for a week for it, there's not a lot it can do. It's very, very linear. So we're kind of going with dual screens again, because it worked really well last week. So yeah, why not? It outspeeds my speed Confe, but also mainly outspeeds Yvel. That's like the main thing we're looking to outspeed, and yeah. So I may have gotten a little lazy, but like, calcs with Lugia are just like so silly that I can just tell you it lives things, and it's just like, fair enough. But I just like looking at extremes with Lugia, and things like this are a little silly, where it lives a +2 modest Dark Pulse from Yvel. What's really nice as well is it takes it even without the +2 with multi-scale broken. There is a chance, a small chance, but a chance that it can break Shadow Shield. It's not Shadow Shield, but it can break multi-scale with it can break multi-scale with Dark Pulse, and then use Dark Pulse again and not actually KO me. Which I think is insane, and the main reason why it's so good is because you break the multi-scale, and then I'm setting up a screen of whatever I choose that's lasting 8 turns. Trust me, I've considered lefties on this multiple times, but again, the 8-turn screens, it matters so much. And we're actually going Aeroblast this week, because I actually want to be able to hit Yvel. We'll actually probably do a good 30% to Yvel. I haven't really calculated. Lugia is not the most offensive thing on the planet, but I think it'll do a respectable chunk, especially to some of the frailer things as well. And last but not least, so if you thought this Kang was weird, I'm just gonna let this one sit for a second. So it's fast, bulky, not much offense conk. Now, you may look at this and question everything that you've ever questioned in your life. But hear me out. So, with a Tailwind, so +2 speed, or, I guess, -2 speed on the opponent, because they do work out the same, I think? Because it's like, well, -2 is half, but +2 is double, so it kind of works out the same thing. This will have to be base 100s, including Yvel, because Yvel's 99, so it's basically 100. So it outspeeds those. Obviously, and in Trick Room, unless things are made to be put in Trick Room, things like Min Speed, Nidoqueen, it will underspeed everything in Trick Room as well, besides Behemoth, but I couldn't underspeed a Min Speed Behemoth anyway, so I thought, well, let's just go with a lot of speed. The Special Bulk, and we've got the Cobra Berry as well, because of Yveltal, and Mega Salamence at that. +2, Modest, Max Special Attack, Oblivion Wing, will not KO this conk. It's crazy. It won't do the most back, it does about 50-ish% back, but it will live. And that's huge. Because if I am faster, that means a lot. Because then I can just, I can really make sure that this Yveltal goes down. Ice Punch will take out, a 0 bulk Mega Salamence guaranteed, but I expect a little bit of bulk, so I'm not counting on it. Plus, there's also Intimidate to come in. But the nice one as well is why we have Hammer Arm, which will OHKO a max HP 4 defense Katana. And it's why we have as much attack as we do. So yeah. And then we have Mark Punch just to kind of finish things off. I don't actually have any priority on the team other than Fake Out on Kang, which is not going to do that much. The only other consideration I had was EQ. But I kind of opted against it. This is a super bulky Kong. But can still deal decent damage. It's got more, even with the little investment it has, okay, it's not out-damaging you, but, it out-damages, Coco, well, it has a higher stat than Coco and Nidoking, just because of its natural offense. And again, this is another thing that I like about this team. Its versatility. So, while it looks like I don't have a lot of physical offense, this conk still kind of chunks things. Despite having no offensive item, and having pretty low investment in attack in the grand scheme of things. But because Iron Fist actually does affect Hammer Arm, as well as Ice Punch, it means the power is still there. As well as having bulk and speed, I might add. Speed is not something I would have ever considered giving a comp, but because it's doable, and because it still works in the Trick Room, and because there's 2 very easy ways for me to get to essentially +2 speed in both Kang and Lugia, it's very easy to get this thing, outspeeding things, despite not being in Trick Room, which is very big. Obviously, it kind of works better in Trick Room because of Hammer Arm, but yeah. So kind of a couple game plans I have. There's obviously Kang Coco lead, which is a great lead, especially for putting on pressure, especially because it's offensive Coco. There's also like Kang Dialga to try and get up Trick Room, and then have Nidoking Conk in the back. And then even if like Trick Room doesn't go up, we have Icy Wind to kind of make it so that we have speed control regardless. Maybe we even go Icy Wind instead of Trick Room, but I think Trick Room is overall better because it's not going to just affect the 2 Pokemon out front, it's going to affect the whole field. So, like, potentially what they bring, like, it would depend if I want to go Trick Room or if I want to go with the speed control of Kang. Or even if I want to go with, like, Lugia, so I could get, like, I could kind of do what I did before of, like, Kang, Coco, Lugia, and then +1 in the back. So maybe, like, Dialga for some offense, Nidoking for some offense. Probably Nidoking over Dialga, because, Nidoking is more powerful than Dialga. It's just a bit frailer. Or even Conk. Like, because it can work outside of Trick Room. So, this is a really strange team. And I also realize this team build has been very long. But this, I would expect team builders to be long at this point, because I basically spent the past day on and off trying to make this team. Since the announcement came out, and this is what I came up with. And because things are getting so in-depth with these team builders, things are getting crazy. Things aren't just what they used to be, or what they have been in any other league. They've been very complex and very well thought through of what I want to do with the team, and how I think I can best deal with the opposing team, from what I've personally seen. 1 week has gone by and I've already started prepping for Winter's Policy Yveltal. And I think that says a lot. So, yeah, this is... Whether this, again, this is another team that is going to I question whether it will work. But if it does work, there's no set game plan, because I can't really say I can prepare for any set lead. They have a lot of options for leads, and I don't think I can say I can prep for anything in particular. But I have a couple leads in line. Obviously, Kang is great as a lead. And then partner that with Coco or Lugia. Sorry, Coco, Dialga, or even Lugia, actually. Like, all 3 of them work, but obviously I think having some kind of offensive presence alongside the support Kang is going to be very, very nice. So, that will do it for this team builder. Let's get into the actual battle. I'm sorry this has been, like, almost half an hour long for a team builder. And the battles, unless they go to 3 games, aren't even that long. But yeah, like I say, these team builders have a lot that go into them now. So, yeah, do apologize for that, but let's get into the actual battle. Hello, we are back. So it's time for week 2 with the London Luxrays. Cool. Let's do this. Challenge UC 2019. Yeah. Just double check this is the right team. With our kind of weird stuff, but we're going with it. Let's end the challenge. Cool. There's no Yvel, and there's no Kartana. What? There's no Yvel, no Kartana, and they brought the Vanillas? What is happening? This is not what I prepped for. This is actually quite bad. I've got to rely on a lot of my fundamentals here. I've just got to update live battles. Cool. Right. So the plan was... shoot, I need to look up something very important here. Good job I had a tab open. Does not get into prison trick room. What about Nihilego? Does not get in Prison Trick Room. Okay. So there's nothing stopping me going for the Dialga Trick Room strats. Unfortunately, I don't have coverage for Blacephalon on that. I'm gonna go with the No, I'm not gonna go with Trick Room. I'm gonna go with these four. King Coco. This is Vanillux Nihilego. I don't know what this Vanillux wants to do is the question. No reason for me not to Mega. Yeah, right, so Fake Out. Hang on. Mega, Fake Out, T-Bolt, the Vanillux. That's Scarfed. No, that freeze is big. That freeze is really, really bad. That freeze is so bad for me. You have no idea. Because the idea here was to protect Icy Wind. I'm gonna go for the Protect anyway. Yeah. That freeze is so bad. That freeze is awful. I'm gonna lose the game off that freeze. Yeah, there's nothing I can do about that. There's literally nothing I can do about that. That's so bad. That turn one that freeze loses me the game. No joke. I just have to sack Kang. I have to sack Coco. There's nothing I can do. I'll go for a double protect. I know it's Scarfed. There's nothing I can do about that. That one's super unlucky. Yeah, and I get frozen again. One Icy Wind there, and I'm in much better position, and I just don't get it. That's super, super bad. Like, there's literally nothing I could do about that. Unless, of course, I faked out the Vanillux, but then, like, the Scarfed Nihilego would have destroyed me. I've got to try and get speed control here. Like, it's my only option. That's going to break my multi-scale. Dude, the hacks! Oh my... Oh... This is so bad! I mean, I've got to try and take this thing out. It lives. Cool. So I lose the game because of... I lose the game because of a freeze turn 1. I'm sounding salty, but that freeze literally just lost me the game, turn 1. Okay. Try not to tilt, we know what happened, and we also now know that Trick Room is much better against them, because we know they're Scarfed Nihilego. Okay. That freeze literally won them the game, I'd like to just say that. I didn't even get to see what they brought in the back. That's the worst part. Right. Do we go same 4? If I know what they brought in the back, it would be fine. I'm gonna go same... Do I go Trick Room? Do I go Trick Room? It might be better. It might be better. They were prepared for Coco, that's for sure. Let's mix it up. I might switch back to game 3. These are both kind of bulky-ish mons. Yeah, it's the same lead. You get a Mega Fake Out, and this time we're setting up Trick Room. Unless you know I get frozen again. Am I allowed to be salty about that one? Like, can I have that? I literally lost the game to a freeze. Okay, brings in Mence. You know, that's fine, because my Dialga will be slower. Okay, no. Nothing there. We see Trick Room go up, which is great for us. It's actually brilliant. Now, unfortunately, this thing will be faster. But we're going to do good damage with Rock Slide, and I can Ice Beam here. No freezers. Dude, really? Wow. And a Rock Slide miss, okay. Yeah, that's cool. Thankfully I can protect the Dialga and keep it safe for a turn. But wow, that's... This set has been awful to me. This Kank has, like, not done anything for me. Protect the Dialga. Goes for the Blizzard. Obviously, Blizzard's not going to miss, but yeah, like... so we go to Conk. Say, hello, I have a Conkeldurr in Trick Room. Okay, so they're calling out the Earth Power. It's Sash! Why? Okay, last turn of Trick Room. I lose. I actually just lose. There's nothing I could do. They get a good read, and that's fair enough. They call me out on that one, and I'll give them that. But the Rock Slide miss means that this thing lives. Like, what do you want from me? They're both gonna protect, yeah. And then I Mach Punch. I've got to pray. There's nothing I can do. Wait, there's a chance. It's 2-on-2. Near Lego and Nido Queen. I am faster. I'm 1 point faster. We know it's Scarfed. So that means it can't protect. This has to be played to perfection if I want a chance in this. Nido Queen can protect, but does it? If he clicks Rock or poison doesn't necessarily kill me. Viscose there. Goes there. Wait, no, because it has Psychic. No way! I did what I could. I did what I could. It kills me and it's over. I think I can be salty on that one. Like, I hate to be salty after a loss like that, but the freeze game 1 and the rock slide miss game 2, like, I'll give him the switch. The switch was really good. It called out my earth power. But the rock slide miss, meaning that sash didn't get broken, meaning I lost the game on that. Like, it put me in a situation where I couldn't win. That was 2 games where I felt like that game 1 I absolutely couldn't win. There was no way I could win. The game 2 I had a chance, but like with Psychic I couldn't win that. Not against my last 2 guys. I had to try and switch things up for that game 2. Because they were clearly prepared for Coco. Yeah, there was nothing I could do. I got hacked out super hard there. Yeah, yeah, I'm just not going to say much more. Like, I hate to be salty after a loss, but I think I'm going to call I was hacked out of that one. Like, we've got another, like, 5 weeks to go, so I can still make playoffs, but I'm going to say I got hacked out of that one. That Blizzard freeze screwed me out of game 1, and that rock slide miss basically cost me that game. So, yeah, there's nothing I can say or do there, so yeah. GG's, I hope I get to play you again, because, like, sure, I didn't prep for the right things, but I still think I had a good chance at playing the game. But, yeah. GG's, but, yeah, I am salty after that one, and I hope you can at least understand why. Hopefully we will come back stronger next week, and, yeah, I will see you guys then. So, take it easy, everyone.